And we had planned to talk about Anthony Davis, and obviously we will still get into that because more news is coming out. You know, it's a lot of scuttlebutt, a lot of anonymous quotes, a lot of sourced material. So you have to work through what's real and what's not.
You got to be careful because people are looking for clicks, and I'm not saying that there's nothing to it because we've all been in this business, Chris. We're talking to people and sources, and Rick Bucher's a long time newspaper guy, and so he puts a story out. I feel better about seeing his byline on it than somebody else, but a lot of people throw a lot of stuff out there.
Right. Well, Woj from ESPN, he talked about recently or today that Danny Ainge is willing to trade for Anthony Davis, even if Davis doesn't tell him beforehand, I'll sign long term. And I'm not surprised at that. First of all, Danny Ainge is one of the top GMs in the league. Secondly, Anthony Davis, remember, people forget he can't be a free agent until 2020.
Right.
If I'm an organization that is as strong as the Boston Celtics, that has their history, has their talent, has their very good coach, has their very good front office, will have and has right now a superstar in Kyrie Irving, I feel good about my chances of keeping an Anthony Davis. Remember, Kevin Garnett did not want to leave Minnesota and go to Boston. He had to be convinced to accept that trade. He finally does, and he loved it. Won a championship, was not as dominant in Boston as he had been in Minnesota, but he'll tell you that changed his career. So I totally believe that Danny Ainge will pull that trigger.
I agree with you from the standpoint that also you're trying to win. You're trying to win now.
You might win it one year.
You might win it next year and he leaves. You might say, I'm good.
Right.
We won a championship. That's what our goal is. That's what we're trying to do here. You could talk about a 5-year plan. Nobody's living on a 5-year plan.
Not nowadays.
And hopefully that the kids will bounce, will come together and make something happen. So that's not always the case. And then, you know what? For a lot of people, you got to take a look at what happened in Oklahoma City. Everybody told the Pacers, right? Yep. They told Oklahoma City they were dumb.
I thought they were crazy.
They were dumb. Why would you make a trade for him? He's going to L.A. He's been talking about the Lakers for 2 years, going back home. Paul George gets to OKC, and what happens? He loves it. He falls in love with it.
And that's OKC.
Right.
That's not Boston.
Him and Westbrook have a bond, right? They're cool. And all of a sudden, he's not interested in – he doesn't even meet with Magic. He didn't even entertain it, Chris. That's why you don't know until sometimes you get a guy, get him into your environment, let them see what you're doing, and you never know.
That's why I think I wouldn't go as far as to call it a long shot, but the Lakers really have an uphill battle to get Anthony Davis because you need cooperation from the New Orleans Pelicans.
And they're not. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. If you're the GM or the owner, you have to answer to your fans. Right. If the fans feel like the Lakers came and took your star player and gave you the bad Lakers who aren't good enough to make the playoffs. Oh yeah,
some of them are good, though.
No, but I'm saying, but together they're not. They haven't done anything.
Right.
So here's all these guys or whatever. So you have to fight for your fans and your franchise to say the big bad Lakers didn't just come and evict us. They didn't just come and grab our guy and throw us scraps and say you're New Orleans.
Bully us.
Right, bully us out of our star player. So I think that's why they came and they issued a statement saying they're going to go work on their own timetable, nobody else's, and they said that they filed a grievance with the NFL, with the NBA. I'm not saying anything's going to come of it,
nothing will.
But it's all a part of the show to show fans that they're fighting back.
Right, that's right. And you alluded to this other part earlier because there is a report out that could throw a monkey wrench in Boston's plans because I've talked to people close to this situation, and I'm telling you, right now at this very moment, Rob, Anthony Davis's top 2 places would be the Lakers and then the Knicks. But Boston, he's apprehensive about Boston because he's not sure they're going to keep Kyrie Irving. Okay? Not that Kyrie will re-sign with them. Of course, if Kyrie does stay there, I think that changes things for Davis. And now you look at those two teaming up and maybe winning championships.
Two young guys for a long way to go.
A small and a big, both of them versatile. It'd be great. But, and you and I talked about this weeks ago, right? Rick Bucher, again, our colleague back at the old network, he came out with a story. It's, again, sourced and all that stuff, but he says that it says a source close to the Celtics confirmed that Kyrie Irving is genuinely interested in reuniting with his former Cavaliers teammate LeBron James.
I don't buy that.
The source says that is for real.
I don't buy that I don't buy that for 2 ounces, 1 ounce. I just
Why
don't.
not?
Because I don't. You got LeBron as an older player. Like they were
still great. I mean, we'll see what he looks like when he comes back, but he's still great.
They were together and couldn't beat them. They lost 4.
They beat beat Golden State, though. And the first time they lost to him, Kyrie and Love were hurt.
Yeah, but I'm just not.
Now they didn't have Durant, obviously.
Right. And when they did, and I get it, they lost 4 games to 1 when Kyrie was there, and then they lost 4 games to none without Kyrie.
Right.
I just don't see the way that ended. That would be his path. To me, that would be going backwards. You're joining an older player who, for the first time, showed something where.
He just got hurt.
But he's been out for a while, Chris. You could poo-poo it all you want.
But everybody gets hurt.
No, I know, but LeBron never got hurt.
I'm just saying,
I'm not buying into it.
Is age a part of this? Perhaps.
Yes.
But I want to see it. I'm not just going to assume that a guy that was 27-7
look at everybody who's ever played.
Injured, a guy that took a bunch of no names to the 4th seed of the West earlier in the season is done. You're talking about him like he's done.
I'm not saying he's done, but I'm saying the long term as you go forward and you put more time and more games on that body. Father Time is undefeated. LeBron James and everybody. Look at all the great players who have all gone down, as their career goes forward. So all I'm saying is
Kyrie
seems weird.
There may be a draw of the Lakers, of Los Angeles, maybe media. You've seen all that LeBron has done since he's gone to the Lakers. Kyrie is interested in that stuff too. He's starting his own media company and all that.
Yeah, but I'm
not saying I think it's going to happen.
I'm just going to have you.
I don't think you can completely write it off.
Right now, give me a number where you are. I'm saying 0%, but
I'm not saying zero.
Tell me where you are.
Of Kyrie possibly going to the Lakers? 5%.
Okay. All right.
So I don't think
we're
it's
in the same
likely.
ballpark.
I don't think
we're
it's
in the same
likely,
ballpark. I'm saying it's 0.
But I think my point has been this.
I think this is
what 3 weeks ago was not even a remote possibility is now within the realm of possibility. And here's what I say, Rob. Kyrie has to decide, does he enjoy being the leader? Does he enjoy all the responsibility
and looking like that?
Does he enjoy the responsibility that comes with that? Making sure the chemistry is right in the locker room, making sure the egos are in check, making sure everybody's happy and on the floor, off the floor, all that stuff, your behavior, your play, your words, all that stuff comes into play as a leader, getting the credit and the blame when your team performs well or performs poorly. Does he want that? If he does, why in the world would you leave Boston? If he doesn't, if he just wants to be that sniper, if he just wants to be that perennial all-star, that perennial all-NBA player who goes out there and balls, and then LeBron or somebody else handles all that other stuff, then maybe he'll consider going to the Lakers. We will see.